What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Omega 500, and today we're going to be reacting to top 20 UFO sightings on camera, I think. This is by Watch Mojo. Make sure to go check them out. We're going to make this into part 2 because this video is long. So we're going to do all 10 video, 10 whatever, and 10 later. So I'm going to do 10 for this one, then we're going to go live on Instagram. So if you want to see me on Instagram, my Instagram is Omega500YT. So if you want to watch the original video, the link will be in the description down below. It'll lead you to the original video and their channel. Make sure to go check them out and watch them, because they make great lists. Depends. Let's get into it, man.
Keep watching the stars. Something is bound to happen eventually. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 UFOs caught on camera. For this list, we're looking at the most discussed and debated videos and photos of unidentified flying objects. Some have since been explained, but many remain the subject of debate. Number 20, the Hebei Incident. Set against the backdrop of Tianjin, Hebei Province, China, this photo can be traced back to at least 1942, although some argue it was actually snapped in 1911. Either way, Japanese student Masujiro Kiru stumbled upon it in his father's photo album during World War II. The photo was reportedly taken by an American serviceman, with several onlookers gazing up at the flying saucer-like object above. Of course, many have argued that it was a bird, a streetlight, or even a hat. We guess you could say it's all up in the air. Number 19, the Belgian UFO wave. In late November 1989, Belgium started...
See, UFOs didn't start becoming a thing until the 1940s, when, you know, Roswell, you know, there was a UFO that crashed into Roswell, and it hit there, and the government said there was the alien bodies found, and then the next day, like, oh, it was a weather balloon, there's no aliens. They were like lying as fuck, and they were like, really, bro? Really?
Receiving numerous reports of a UFO. Various people described the UFO as a giant triangle with a flat surface and lights below, and the reports kept coming well into early 1990, reaching a crescendo in late March of that year. When a UFO was picked up on radar one night, 2 Air Force pilots investigated, coming up empty-handed. While they didn't see anything, 143 other individuals supposedly did. For over 20 years, ufological group SOBEP claimed the photo was authentic, but the photographer eventually revealed it was a hoax. Marc Allais attributed the Belgian UFO wave to the media and SOBEP spreading misinformation, causing a mass delusion.
Indeed, there is something going on in Belgium which is beyond our control.
Number 18,
there are triangle
Houston,
UFOs.
we have a problem. In August 2014, social media was bombarded with photos of a UFO hovering over Houston, Texas. Taken from different spots around the area, the UFO seemingly consisted of several lights forming a ring. At the center, you can make out a single orb, as if the other circular lights are revolving around it. The UFO almost shares a resemblance to Saturn, although some experts have theorized there's nothing otherworldly about it. Fletcher Gray of the Mutual UFO Network deduced it likely stemmed from nearby highway lights. It's also worth noting that Houston endured a thunder and lightning storm that night, which may have contributed. Still, how fitting would it be if alien life visited Space City? Number 17, the Kumburgaz UFO video. In 2007, a Turkish night guard named Yalçın Yalman, working in Istanbul's holiday village, noticed strange activity in the sky and started filming. He kept his eyes on the skies throughout the next few years, recording a treasure trove of UFO footage. The UFO that repeatedly pops up in these videos certainly looks like a spacecraft, even calling to mind the ones from War of the Worlds. Upon further inspection, some claim that you can spot 2 alien heads peeping out of what appears to be a window or a door. Our eyes may be deceiving us, but ufologist Nick Pope described Yalman's findings as, quote, a turning point for Turkish UFO studies, adding, quote, the authorities can no longer turn a blind eye to this phenomenon. Number 16, New Mexico, 1957. Ever since the Roswell UFO incident in 1947, New Mexico has been a hotspot for alleged alien activity.
It really
Almost
is.
10 years after the historic sighting, New Mexico local Ella Louise Fortune had another close encounter of sorts. Cruising down Highway 54...
Bro, they got this base where humans or aliens or whatever, they experiment on people, and they like make like alien human babies, or I don't really know. I gotta read this book again, The Blue Planet Project. This dude wrote every secret about the government that included the aliens and the UFOs. Like, there's no author. Like, they don't know who it is. People have theories, but no one knows. No one knows.
On October 16th, 1957,
the
nurse took a photo of a bright white flying disc. The UFO reportedly hovered around the Holloman Air Development Center for 15 minutes. That said, the fact this occurred near an Air Force base might provide a logical explanation. Even after the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization studied the imagery, though, nobody could come up with a conclusive answer. Number 15, the Lubbock Lights. In August 1951, 3 Texas Technological College professors noticed somewhere between 20 and 30 lights shimmering in the sky. 5 days later, Texas Tech freshman Carl Hart Jr. gazed out his bedroom window to find a cluster of lights forming a V shape. Hart managed to take 5 photos of the lights, getting them published in various newspapers and Life magazine. This caught the attention of the Air Force, which launched an investigation. At first, they believed the Lubbock Lights were really plovers. The Air Force eventually announced that it wasn't a bird or a spaceship, but a, quote, easily explainable natural phenomenon, without unveiling what the phenomenon actually was.
That's a terrible
that's not suspicious at all. Number 14, Salem, Massachusetts, 1952. As if being the site of infamous...
The government's just trying not to fear people, you know?
Witch trials wasn't bad enough. Salem was also invaded by aliens at one point. Okay, maybe we're exaggerating just a tad, but this was definitely a weird occurrence. On August 3rd, 1952, a U.S. Coast Guard looked outside a lab to find 4 large, vibrant lights up above. The 21-year-old guard snapped a photo through a window, and people have been making calculated guesses as to the exact nature of these objects ever since. Flying saucers? A witch's spell? Lamp lights? In any case, Salem just got even eerier. Number 13, ISS Light Beam. In 2016, a video surfaced on YouTube from NASA's live feed of the International Space Station, seemingly showing an object making atmospheric entry. The feed was then suspiciously cut off, although NASA claims that this was due to technical difficulties, and the object was likely debris or lights from Earth. However, a subsequent video from the same feed showed what appeared to be a similar object departing Earth, followed by a bright golden beam of light.
Is this a UFO leaving the Earth, making the jump to hyperspace? These are real images from the International Space Station's live feed. They show a spherical object leaving the vicinity of the Earth and traveling upwards. As the object disappears, a beam of light shoots out.
This wouldn't be the last time that conspiracy theorists gravitated towards the ISS. In 2020, the feed captured another object moving over Earth. It was later reported that this was a retired communications component being jettisoned, although we're definitely keeping a close watch on the ISS.
We discard of our trash and equipment.
Bro, I wonder where the Greys live. That's a good question.
Retired.
Number 12, the STS48 Incident.
Tony, what can you tell us about this last-minute delay and what's happening right now?
Launched on September 12th, 1991, the STS-48 mission's goal was to deploy satellites from the Space Shuttle Discovery.
This scene shows the actual release of URs with the mechanical arm. The arm is being backed away from the spacecraft.
In UFO circles, though, the mission is best remembered for footage captured on September 15th. While not easy to make out, the video shows objects zooming by and bright lights flashing in Earth's orbit. According to NASA, these were ice particles responding to the engine jets. Astronomer Phil Plait has backed up these claims, but we gotta admit, the believer in us likes to wonder. It's not the only space shuttle mission to have caught ufologists' eyes. In 1996, footage from STS-75 seemed to show objects buzzing around the broken tether of a drifting satellite. Debris or curious visitors?
Well, the long line is a tether, and there's a little bit of debris that kind of flies with us.
Number 11, the Kaikoura Lights. It's only fitting that the Kaikoura Lights surfaced the year after Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind hit theaters. Kaikoura mountain ranges caught the media's attention on December 21st, 1978, when a cargo plane crew observed house-sized lights flashing around the aircraft for several minutes.
Thousands of UFO documents have been released by the New Zealand Air Force. The documents released under Freedom of Information laws cover sightings dating back to 1954.
Air traffic control specialists from Wellington tracked the lights, which an Australian television crew then recorded in color.
The TV crew came along for the cargo plane's next flight from Wellington back to Christchurch. Shortly after takeoff, the crew captured footage of a giant illuminated orb. New Zealand's Ministry of Defense has provided several possible explanations, including lights from boats, cars, or Venus, but alternative explanations abound.
Others say it could have been an unusually bright sighting of Venus or merely radio and light wave transmissions. But for those who believe, even the publication of such sightings is a breakthrough.
Number 10, the Black Knight Satellite. The Black Knight Satellite remains one of the most famous
Wait, what number are we on? Number 10. Alright, this one we're going to leave off. Okay.
The Black Knight Satellite remains one of
the most famous conspiracy theories in UFO circles. It's said that this mysterious satellite has been orbiting Earth for 13,000 years. In 1954, UFO investigator Donald Keyhoe claimed that the Air Force had discovered 2 artificial satellites, despite the fact that such technology did not exist at the time. It would be another 3 years until we launched the first artificial satellite, Sputnik. Regardless, various newspapers like the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and San Francisco Examiner picked up the story. The Black Knight regained interest in 1998 when NASA released this photo from the STS48 mission. While most would agree it was space debris, others are not letting go of their Black Knight theory. Number 9, the Phoenix.
Alright, we're going to leave it here. Thank y'all for tuning in. Bro, I actually saw a UFO once. I was taking out groceries, right? And I just saw a silver disc was over there, that way of my house. And it was just like in the middle of the day, it was just sitting there, silver. It was a silver disc, right? It was just sitting there. You tell me, you have to believe me. It's just like, it's silver, it's round, so it has to be a flying saucer. It has to be. And like, I've never seen, a ship like that. It was just, it wasn't a plane because it wasn't moving, and it wasn't making any noise. Like, I'm serious, bro. Like, I wouldn't lie about this. Like, I always wanted to see a UFO for my eyes, and I did. I just never been abducted by aliens, because I wouldn't want that. So, more than Men in Black to come at my house and tell me, what I saw or was bullshit, and keep it a secret, Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell at that bitch, give me a like, and leave me a comment what y'all think. Alright, peace, y'all. Peace.